Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to understand how to add Stripe payment details in Google Sheets. So are you also using Stripe for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I'm doing the same. I'm running a edutech company and I'm using Stripe to sell the online courses. And now I wish that as soon as a new payment is received in my Stripe account, that means a new purchase is made in my Stripe account, automatically the details of the same should be added in my Google Sheets too, so that I can track the subscription revenue and analyze the trends. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Stripe and Google Sheets. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to understand how to add Stripe payment details in Google Sheets. So as you know that I'm running a edutech company and I'm selling my online courses with the help of my Stripe account. And now I want that as soon as a new payment is captured in my Stripe account, automatically the details of that payment should be added to my Google Sheets, like the name, email, product amount, payment method and address, so that I can track the revenue and the analysis and trends. So to do this, I've already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we'll open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. In a way, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now again to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as you can see that now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with the automation we are going to click on this button which is create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to add Stripe payment details in Google Sheets. And then we are going to click on create right over here. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander with multiple followers. So where we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now I'm going to select my trigger application which is Stripe, because I want that as soon as a new payment detail are captured in my Stripe account, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new charge. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this URL in order to create a connection between our Stripe account and our Pabbly's workflow. So first I'm going to copy this webhook URL and then we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying sign into your Stripe account, navigate to the developers page. Once you reach the page, go to the webhook section and click on add endpoint. So I'm going to open my Stripe account and over here you can see developers. So we are going to go on this developers, and over here you can see webhook. So we are going to open this webhook section. And now over here you can see add endpoint. So we are going to open this, and now it is asking me for the endpoint URL. So we are going to paste the URL we copied from our workflow, which is the webhook URL. And now it is asking me for the description. So as you can see that this is not the required field, so I'm going to leave it as blank. And now it is asking me listen to events on your account, and the version should be the latest API version. And then it is asking me to select the event. So I'm going to select it as, over here you can see select event drop down, choose charge succeeded. So I'm going to select the same right over here which is charge succeeded. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it and click on add events. And now after doing all of this, I'm going to click on add endpoint. And yes, as soon as I clicked on add endpoint, you can see that we have successfully added our webhook URL. So this means that we have successfully created a connection between our Stripe account and our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and the notes it is saying do a test submission/record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission. And in order to do the test submission, I'm going to open my Stripe again, and over here from the left sidebar, we are going to go on payment links. And now I'm going to select the payment link I wish to create this automation for. So over here you can see the same, which is automation and AI course rupees 999. So I'm going to select the same. So I'm going to copy this URL and then we are going to open this URL in a new tab so that I can get the payment link. And yes, you can see that this is the payment link, and over here we are going to fill in the dummy details. So for the email, I'm going to keep it as demo@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. For the full name, we are going to keep it as demo user. Address as New Street, Bhopal. This is the pin code and the state. And now we are going to enter the card information as this, and then we are going to enter the dummy CVV. And now after entering all the details, I'm going to click on pay. And yes, you can see that it is saying thank you for shopping. So this means that we have successfully did this test submission, and now Stripe has sent the details of our submission to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of this or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of this. Over here you can see the name that we entered. Over here you can see the state, the postal code, the address line, the address country, the city, and then we are going to move on forward. Over here you can see the payment method, and over here you can see the amount that we paid for. But as you can see, the amount was 999, but over here in our workflow it is showing 99900. So over here, as you can see, the amount is 999.00. There's a decimal between the 999 and 00, but in the response received the decimal is eliminated. So that's why we first need to format this to get the perfect amount. So to do this, first we are going to add another action step, but before adding that, we are going to add the action step of filter right over here, because I want to create a filter in this workflow that only this workflow should run if the amount is equals to 999. So only if the payment is made of this course, which is automation and AI, then only this workflow should run further. That's why we are going to add the filter right over here. So filter is a feature by Pabbly, and now for the action event, we are going to select it as filter values, and then we are going to click on connect. And now it is asking me for the filter type, so we are going to keep it as equal to only. And now it is asking me for the label. So over here we are going to select the label as the amount. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see, the object amount, so we are going to select the same label right over here, because I want only if the amount is 999, then only this workflow should run further. But now on amount is 99900, so we are going to enter the same, because I want to enter this, because I want that as soon as the amount is this, then only my workflow should run further. I'm going to create this automation only for this particular course, which is automation and AI. I only want to add the details of these payment link to my Google Sheets. So that's why I'm going to add this filter step, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see success condition is true. So now we are going to add another action step, and this time for the action application, we are going to select number formatter by Pabbly to format the amount. So number formatter is also a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the numbers. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as perform math operation, and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that it is asking me for the numbers, so we are going to map it right over here. Mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Stripe as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response received in our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new charge or every new payment made in my Stripe account. So I'm going to give you an example that over here in front of number, if I'm going to enter the number manually, suppose this, so this is the number I want to format. So if I'm going to enter it over here manually, then this will not change with every new payment made in my Stripe account, because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, suppose this, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here. So now after mapping the number, we are also going to add 100 right over here because we want to divide this number with 100. So now for the operation, we are going to select it as divide. So we are going to do this because I want to eliminate these two zeros because the amount of my course is 999. So that's why we are going to eliminate these two zeros. So I'm going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the perfect amount of our product. So yes, with this, both of these action steps are successful, and now we are going to add another action step, which is Google Sheets. So I'm going to select the action application as Google Sheets because I want to add the payment details in my Google Sheets account. account. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as add new row. And then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And over here you can see that it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow, Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet and the sheet. So as you know, the name of my spreadsheet is payment details and the name of my sheet is sheet 1. So we are going to select payment details right over here. And for the sheet, we are going to select it as sheet 1. Then we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the name, email, product amount, product method and the address. So over here you can see that these are the same details I have over here in my sheets too. So I'm going to map all of these details. So for the name, we are going to map the name. For that, we are going to search for it. And as you can see, demo user. So we are going to map it. For the email, again, we are going to search for it. And as you can see, demo@pabblytudes.com. So we are going to map it. We are going to do same for the product amount also, but this time we are going to map it from the number formatter, which is this result 999. And then for the payment method, we are going to search for payment method. And as you can see, payment method, so we are going to map it, which is card. And now it is asking me for the address, so we are going to map the address too. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see, new street. So again, I'm going to put a comma, and then we are going to map the city, which is Bhopal. We are going to put a comma, we are going to map the state, put a comma and map the country, and then we are going to put a comma and map the pin code. So this is the full address, so we are going to map it, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully completed and added the details in our Google Sheets. So I'm going to open the Google Sheets and check that if the details have been added there or not. So I'm going to open my Sheets. And yes, you can see name demo user, email demo@pabblytudes.com. Over here you can see the product amount, the payment method and the address that we added. So yes, with this our workflow is successful, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So I'm going to open my Stripe payment links, and over here we are going to do the test submission of any another course. So suppose I'm going to do the test submission of this course, which is online PHP course for beginners. So here you can see that it is for $4.99. So in this case my workflow should not run further, so I'm going to open this link in a new tab, and yes, you can see it has opened the payment link. So I'm going to do the submission and check that if the workflow runs further or not. So I'm going to enter all the details, and then we are going to click on pay. And yes, you can see thank you for shopping with us. This means that we have successfully did this test submission and purchase of the course. So now we are going to our Google Sheets and check that if these details have been added there or not, because these details shouldn't be added in our Google Sheets because the product price is $4.99 and we added a filter step right over here of the amount $9.99. So only the courses with $9.99 amount should run further. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, you can see the details have not been added here. So now we are going to try this with our automation and AI course. So for that I'm going to open the payment links again, and then we are going to open the automation and AI payment page. And now we are going to do the test submission of this course. So I'm going to enter the email as testuser@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. Full name as test user. Over here you can see the address, city as Indore. And over here you can see the pin code and the state as Madhya Pradesh. I'm going to enter the card details and do another test submission, and then we are going to click on pay. So now these details should be added in our Google Sheets because the amount is $9.99. So now after completing the payment, we are going to open our Google Sheets and check for it. And yes, you can see that we have successfully completed our payment. It is saying thank you for shopping. So this means that Stripe has sent the details of our submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further added the details in our Google Sheets. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, you can see the details have been added right over here because the product amount was $9.99. So I'm going to let you know the details. Name as test user, email testuser@pabblytudes.com. Over here you can see the payment method and the address too. So yes, with this our workflow is successful, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For the trigger application, we selected Stripe. For the trigger event, we selected new charge. For the action application, we selected filter by Pabbly, and then for the action event, we selected filter values because I wanted only only the product amount should be 999, then only this workflow should continue further. Then for the action application, we selected number formatter by Pabbly, and for the action event, we selected perform math operation because I wanted to format this number which we received from the amount, but over here you can see the amount was 999 and not 99900. So that's why we divided this amount by 100 so that we can receive a perfect product amount which is 999. And after doing all of this, we went for the action application as Google Sheets and action event as add new row because I wanted that as soon as the new payment details are captured in my Stripe account, automatically the details of that payment should be added in my Google Sheets so that I have the record of all the payments in the single spreadsheet. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the two details I added during this video. So if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. Thank you for watching.
Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.